Scott Simpson.
Mr Speaker, at the beginning of the parliamentary year, I'd just like to acknowledge you and the other presiding officers and fellow members across the House and welcome them back to what is going to be an election year of stark contrast. And we've seen that already, sir. We've seen already in the first couple of days of this parliamentary session the stark contrast that's going to be presented to the voters of New Zealand later this year in September. And so on this side of the House we've had a great prime ministerial statement from the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Bill English, focused, clear, optimistic, aspirational for New Zealand, setting out a clear plan and pathway for the future direction of New Zealand, aspirational for New Zealanders, and what a contrast we saw on the Labour Party side, sir. Andrew Little with a party that, sir, is in open revolt, civil war, total disunity, and with backbench MPs from the Labour Party hiring public relations firms, if you please, to take a public sideswipe at their leader. Unheard of in an election year. Unheard of that ill discipline that party, that once great proud party who in their own right used to seek to lead the Treasury benches but now has to be propped up by the left-leaning former Alliance Party and the Green Party and Uncle Tom Cobley and all, and they will be I think, punished at the polls later this year for their disunity, for their lack of focus, and for their doom and gloom and negative view of all that is so good about our country. Sir, I wanted to just acknowledge the Prime Minister and thank him for giving me some extra work to do this year in terms of my new role as a Parliamentary Private Secretary for to the Minister for the Environment and the Minister of Conservation. And so what it means is that I'm going to be working even more closely than I already do in my role as the Chair of the Local Government Environment Selector Committee with the two key ministers who are doing such a good job in terms of protecting the environment and natural conservation estate of New Zealand. This is a government, sir, that has done more in the last 8 years to protect, enhance and ensure the future prosperity of our natural environment than any government in the previous history of New Zealand. And we can be proud on this side, sir, of the huge commitment that Maggie Barry and Nick Smith have made to ensuring that our natural heritage is protected for all times. Sir, in the Coromandel electorate we've had a great summer. The weather's been warm, the wind's been up a bit, and we had a fire that was devastating for a number of people who lost their homes. But for tens of thousands of New Zealanders, sir, they've had a wonderful, stunning holiday and vacation in the most beautiful part of New Zealand where the weather's been good. And then, to top it all off, not only have we had a great summer, but we've had a couple of terrific announcements that will benefit the good people of Coromandel. There are two in particular that I'd just like to highlight. So, in terms of policing, we've had this announcement last week of a huge increase of 1,125 more police coming into our policing system, and it's in communities like mine around the Coromandel that will benefit most from this. Rural policing, provincial towns where there will be more cops on the beat, a higher visibility, and things like mobile policing units that will really help in communities around my electorate. Also, we've had news that we're going to have this new 24/7 non-emergency police contact number, an 0800 number, that is going to help people who don't feel that their need is sufficiently urgent to ring 111, but still want to talk with a local police officer and talk about something that's important to them in their area. This is a very, very good idea. And, sir, secondly, the second really good announcement that's come out this year from this very good national government is the announcement relating to the Phase 2 rollout of ultra-fast broadband. So, sir, a $300 million investment that's going to see 12 townships and communities around the Coromandel electorate getting fibre, and that's going to be life-changing for the people in those communities. It means that they'll be able to connect with the world in a way that they can't do already. So this year, sir, we are faced with a stark contrast between the divisive and open revolt that's occurring in the Labour Party, or the clear aspirational goals, the optimism and the positivity of Bill English and the National Party team. This is a good government, it's going to be a great year, and I'm really looking forward to all that it brings.